So this is the deep dive in the taxi industry. So if you see the video before, I made a video before stating how much money and how much expensive it costs to have a taxi in Jamaica. And I think the total was 473,000. But check it out if you haven't watched that video before. But in this one, we'll do the deep dive where we explain more about the taxi industry, how it actually works. So if you ever wonder how it works, or you want to know how the taxi thing works in Jamaica, if you can make a money, if it's something you could go in, this is the video. So when we're gonna start off with, if you haven't again seen the video before, go check it out and then come back here, because then most of the things them will actually make sense. You see me? So first up, we want to start where we left off. We made 473,000 in our previous.
I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
This video when we talk about the 6 months of operation for a taxi. You see me? So I want to break it down in a more understandable term, because once you're in the taxi industry, you start talk and use terminology where you never realize that other people who don't in the taxi industry now understand what you're saying, because most of the people in the previous video never understand where me I come from or why me not have gas on the chart of expenses. You see what I mean? Because again, me I talk as if you were already in the taxi industry. So this is where me will make you understand everything. You see me? So straight up, we'll start from the basic. We'll go down to the basic of the basic of the basic of the basic. You see me? So in this one, we will talk about two things. You have two different type of taxi drivers and taxi where you sit on the road. And then see a taxi on the road, it falls under these two categories. You see me? So one, you have a driver who drives the vehicle and owns the vehicle and is responsible for everything. So you have one person, the same person who is driving the vehicle is the same person that owns the vehicle. You see me? So that's pretty self-explanatory. That's pretty simple. And then you have two. So you have the taxi driver, so you have a person who owns the vehicle, and you have a person who operates the vehicle, who actually drives the vehicle. So the person who owns the vehicle is not the person who actually drives the vehicle. So you see, in one case we have a person who drive and operate the vehicle, and in one case you have a person who owns the vehicle, but another person who drives the vehicle.
Okay.
You see me? So I'm gonna explain category one first, which is the driver and the operator. You see me? The owner and the operator. The owner and the operator for the vehicle is pretty self-explanatory. Him own the vehicle, him responsible for all expenses, him responsible for everything for the vehicle. So if he has really has to buy the vehicle, him buy the vehicle. If he really has to licensing the vehicle, him pay to do that. Every single thing, parts, labor for fixed, to do anything for the vehicle, he's responsible for doing that. So in a vehicle one, the person who owns the vehicle and operates the vehicle, he is responsible for all things related to the vehicle and the business. So that is one, you see me? But on the flip side, he is also who will gain the most from the vehicle, because everything that he makes is his. He has nobody to pay him, have nothing to give nobody back. Everything that he makes from the taxi industry is his. And may I tell you, say sometimes it's a lot. You see me? But anyways, we'll jump over and we'll go over to the person two. So we have A and B. So we have the owner and the operator. You see me? I kind of try to simplify everything for them. I'm going to use real world examples in it. You see me? So basically, roughly, the owner of the vehicle, we don't operate in vehicle. All him do, him buy a vehicle, him responsible for licensing and registration and all of these things, all paperwork. So the owner is responsible for that. And mechanical fees, anything relating to the vehicle operation, to keep the vehicle working, the owner is responsible for that. So to fix the vehicle, for do anything on the vehicle, the owner is responsible for that. You understand? On the flip side, now the driver, all he is responsible for is for pay the owner.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, myself, pay the owner. What do you mean pay the owner? I still go more in the details for that book. So the driver responsible is to pay the owner, but the owner responsible to keep the car working, keep everything up to date on the vehicle. You see me? So we'll go in that detail now. So the owner for the vehicle, we'll do an example now. We also have a Toyota Pro Box. You see me? So me have a Toyota Pro Box. This is again example. I don't have a Toyota Pro Box. But we have a Toyota Pro Box here. The owner for the vehicle, in most cases, in a real life scenario right now, the rate for your Pro Box right now is roughly about 6,000 per day. Some people got 7, some people got, you see me? You see me kind of sketchy 6,500, but we are up on a base. I said this vehicle, Toyota Pro Box, the rate is 6,000 per day. And again, I assume you can understand what I'm talking about. So the owner will make a rate for the vehicle. You see what I mean? Most times you have to stay within the region that is already there out there in the streets right now. You see me? So the streets is 6,000 per day for your Pro Box, maybe 6.5. This is really good condition. You see me at it? So you must stay within the rate. You see me at it? But him could actually make it lower if he chooses to. You see me at it? Him could say 5 grand, anything you want. But we have put that 6 grand because that's what the standard is right now for your Toyota Pro Box. You see me? So he might put out him things say, yo, my rate is 6,000 per day. You see me? He might say that to the driver. You see me? The driver will say 6,000 per day. You can manage that. And then now the owner will give the driver the vehicle. So I might give him the key, give him the, you see me? Papers, or at least copies of the papers, and then him will start work the vehicle. So him now, the driver now will be responsible for pay 6,000 per day for 5 days a week. Because usually 5 days a week, because in Monday to Friday, the driver gets sat there for himself. So if he want, he can make some money, and it won't be. You see me? He will make the money on a Saturday differently from what he make throughout the week. You see me? So yeah, 5 days a week and him gets sat there. So for the 5 days a week, him gonna pay the owner 6,000 per day. You see me? If you do the maths for the week, the owner can make 30,000 for the week. You see me? 30,000 for the week. And at the end of the day, it's pretty good. You know, you see me on both sides, because at the end of the day, the owner the one where I spend the money, but the driver the one where I drive. But the owner gonna make money without actually doing the work. You see me? So it good on both sides, help both parties, and I go more in details. But anyways, you gonna get $30,000 for the week as an owner. You see me? And again, I made that part pretty clear. You see me? So the driver of the vehicle is going to be responsible for fuel. You see me? He have to buy the gas for the vehicle, he have to work the vehicle, he are responsible for that. So for all those that asking in the previous video why I'm not add gas to it. I get it. The driver of the vehicle will be responsible for the gas, not the owner. You see me? So the owner just, you see me, do what he has to do. So anyway, we'll go back to the scenario and we'll say, yo, you make 30,000 per week. You see me? And if I do the maths for the month, that I make you make roughly 120,000 for the month. Nice. For the month, you know, man. And then now, for the year, you're going to make 1.440. For the year, so I make 1.440. And if your vehicle run good, meaning so your vehicle is pretty good, it run good, it not really a problem, it not stop for none of the time. You're gonna make that 1.40, and you probably not even do much work. You never have to go out there go do the actual taxi work. You have to do much work. You see me? If your vehicle is actually in good condition, it actually managed to last without no serious problem, then you make 1.4 without actually doing much. You see me? More than normal service, maintenance, and keeping the vehicle up to date. You see me? So you could make a money as an owner there. So what me I gotta do now? Me I gotta do to the flip side. Me I go over to the single person, the person who owns the vehicle and operates the vehicle. Okay, so for the person who owns the vehicle and operates the vehicle, you see me? These are the roughly the maths for them one. You see me? Because when I do my call around, I'm going to talk to people who actually know the one for them taxi, and them know actually have to pay nobody how much them actually make per day versus how much. You see me? Most of them, the average is actually about $12,000. They make roughly $12,000 per day. Sometimes they make more. Some of them say, oh, they make 18 today and they make 20 that day. Then you see me? But the average, without actually pressuring yourself that much, is actually about 12,000 per day. Them actually make if you own a vehicle and you drive and you operate it. So you make 12,000 per day and you don't have to pay nobody. So all of that 12,000 you make is yours. You see what I mean? So if you do the maths, man, without killing up yourself now, without working on Saturday and Sunday, but you make a whopping 240,000 for the month.
It jumped up a notch. It did, didn't it?
240,000 for the month, me I tell you. Woo. You see me? And then for the entire year, if you actually keep up that same energy that you manage to do it for the whole year without stop, you're gonna look on a whopping $2.8 million.
What? What the fuck?
You see me? So you're gonna make that much if you own the vehicle and operate the vehicle, because at the end of the day, you could make more money. You see me? And these are some of the differences as it relates to the two of them. One, when you own and operate the vehicle, your money can fluctuate, you can make more, you can go up and go down. You see me? Based on the driver and how much energy, how much work you put in when you actually own the vehicle and operate the vehicle. You see me? As an owner and a driver situation, remember, the driver will pay the owner roughly 30,000 per week. You see me? And then 120 for the month. You see me? But But you know man, that'll be the max, that'll be the cap, because remember the base rate would have been 6,000 per day, you know man. And so the most you ever make for the month is 120,000, and that is if and very if the vehicle works for the entire month with no major problems. So if the vehicle have to stop or park for any time at any period for the month, like meaning say yo, you take it off the road because you forgot to garage for 3 days, your money will drop down, it will be less. You see me I did? So it will never pass 120 because that is the rate, that is your rate actually. You see me I did? So when I go to show you an example of a separate rate. You see me? So for a 7-seater vehicle that will run taxi, you see me I did a 7-seater, the base rate for like them no and them vaxi and them kind of. Then you see me I did 7-seater taxi vehicle is roughly about 8,000. I see them go up to like 9 too. I see them also go down too. So it's but the base is roughly about 8,000 for a 7-seater vehicle. So 8,000 per day for a 7-seater vehicle. And if you do the maths again, 8 times 5 is 40. So you make 40,000 for the week and 160,000 for the month.
Damn!
You see me I did? And then a whopping 1.9.
Yeah, boy.
1.9 for the year. You see me I did? So if you mind to make it through the year with a 7-seater, you make 1.9 M, bro. You see what I did? But believe me, it's not as easy as how it seems. As you can see in our previous video, as we mentioned, there's a lot of little expenses that ever seem to pop up. You see me I did? And again, your max, that are your max where you would have possibly get as an owner if your vehicle work for the entire year without no serious problem, no nothing. You see me there? Remember, so we have like monthly expenses that seem to ever pop up. Again, check out the previous video for some of that. But you see me? So that are the very cap, that are where your most you will make for the year. You see me? As it again with the owner and operator fee figure is already 2.8 million, you know, man, and he could go higher because again he could put in the work and say, yeah, me I gotta make sure say yo every day me I make 20 grand a day. You see me or 15 or you see me I say his fee one will actually go up as it relates to how much work you put in as an owner and have a different driver for the vehicle. Your base rate, your rate is fixed. You cannot get higher but you can get lower as it relates to expenses. You see me? So, I give some of the advantage and disadvantage of the two of them. The zero I did. So, some of the advantage of you owning your own vehicle and operating the vehicle. Yo, boom, you already see it. You can make more. You make significantly more money. You see me? And it's very flexible if you own and operate your own vehicle because, yo, you don't have nobody to pay. You zero me I did that day. You see me? So, if you don't want to work Monday, you don't have to work Monday. You see me? I know people because them own and operate them vehicle. Like, them just work when them feel like it. You zero me, them use them care like a normal care, but the vast majority of the RM want a 12 grand or 20 grand. We go out and go do some trips and make my money and then me ease up because them not really pressure themselves when them own and operate them own a vehicle. Them not really, you see me feel pressured. You see me as versus the person who actually drives someone because they have to make that money per day. So every day them have to go out Monday to Friday and actually go make this bar 6 grand before them do anything else. You see me or maybe some of them actually like work one day and try to pay for like 3 days in advance so them not have to kill up themselves, but them often make the money per day. You see me this is kind of stressful for the driver where drive for your owner, and aka the owners of a vehicle is usually referred to as a boss. If you call it the boss at any time, that is why, because owner, boss, the driver. You see me? So back on the disadvantage side of the owner and operator. So the owner and operator, you know, man, you have to remember, you know, at the end of the day, you know, man, he will be responsible for everything. You see what I did? Every single thing, which is pretty, that's not that bad because if your owner operator vehicle is like the best way to do it. You see me I did because you know how to drive your vehicle and make sure so you're not really drive it too bad and make sure so nothing to the vehicle because you have a car, so you know so you try your best to make sure so the parts limited. You see me, but at the end of the day you still have to buy parts and everything where you have to buy out of your pocket. You see me I did, so you have to always make sure so you have enough money to buy the parts, make sure your vehicle up to date, make sure so nothing happen. You see me I did because at the end of the day anything might happen versus the person who just drives for someone who owns a vehicle. You see what I mean? These are there enough, like half of every vehicle. I mean, that's more than half of every taxiway on the road is actually being operated by someone that doesn't own the vehicle. So more than half. So you see what I mean? So that is so much people out there driving for someone else. You see me? Because at the end of the day, it is easier and more cheaper for a driver to do that. Because if at the end of the day, me only responsible for $6,000 per day, me can find that $6,000 and then know say yo, me not have to pressure myself as it relates to making sure the vehicle up to date. Because me I tell you when it comes down to vehicle and vehicle being on the road, the expenses will drive you insane. Me I tell you there's a lot of expenses. You see me I did? So you have to keep your vehicle up to date. I'm gonna show you a quick example. The other day my driver got a ticket. My driver got a ticket for fitness. My fitness on the vehicle did up the day before. I didn't realize it, but the driver did out in the road and him get a ticket for fitness. The fitness fee was $15,000. Because I am the owner of the vehicle, you're me responsible for keep the vehicle documents up to date. So if him get a fitness ticket, that is my fault because you me did to keep the vehicle up to date and I did not. It slipped me. I know so me now responsible for $15,000.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
You see what I did? So as you can see, so yo, the fees I'm out there with, you see me I did, me a vehicle where police take away, me a vehicle catch a fire, me a vehicle where crash, me a vehicle. Yo, I've been through the ringer when it comes down to the taxi industry, and as I'm saying, that there is a lots and lots of expenses. Yo, me I tell you, you can't tell me, so me never did tell you, man. You see what I did? So back to the owner and the operator. The owner and the operator, it's a very tricky dynamic because at the end of the day, the boss them always are gonna tell themselves, yo, the driver I can't make money. And the driver always are gonna tell themselves that the boss I make money because the driver will be paying the boss. I say, how much money I pay him? I pay him 60 grand for the last I'm paying the zero me I did. And then the driver always are gonna tell himself, yo, you make 15 grand per day. You make more than me because you get 15 grand per day and I only 6 you give me out of this 15 grand per day. Plus, you end up still get the Saturday for yourself. You see what I mean? So you actually make more. And in some cases, these are both true and both valid examples. You see what I mean? Because at the end of the day, your driver do pay the owner. And at the end of the day, some cases, drivers make more than the owner. And you see me, this is a very tricky dynamic. So you always have a dynamic whereas the other person is always thinking, so the other person is making more of it. So it's like them a fight. You see me all the time. I've never seen a dynamic where it just works and everybody is perfectly satisfied. They might seem okay, but in behind them back of their mind, them most of the time them just say the dynamic. This is what owners in some cases at the bottom, in some cases are very, very strict. Because you know people own the vehicle on the road and at the end of the day, as you slip, you slide. If you're short one day, if you're not bringing the money, if you're not ready, if you're lazy, if you do this, if you do that, yo, you're out. Them just stop the and tell yourself you carry the vehicle or park it and I'm gonna get a new driver. You see me, because drivers are there a lot, man. And we soon get to the point of finding a driver, but drivers are there a lot, so them traffic. You see me, because once you sleep, you slide them, they make nobody owe them. You see me, because they must say, yo, you make the money. And you see me, I did. So it's very, very tricky dynamic. And me, I tell you, say it's very, very hard in that dynamic there, because at the end of the day, me I tell you, say it's hard to find drivers. Believe me when I say this, in the last 5 to 6 years now, man, it's been a steady decline of finding good drivers. Me know people where going at the business and then broke. It broke them. I mean, I tell you, people that were financially stable. You see me, I show you an example. Some of the comment section in the previous video say, yo, if you buy a new car is the way to do it. Buy a new car and you not have to spend so much in a maintenance throughout the month. You see me, which is very solid advice, but at the end of the day, you have to keep in mind, say, yo, if you spend money buy a brand new car, man, this is a gamble. This is a thing that you might lose. You see me, and me personally, I'm gonna bet more than I'm willing to lose. So, for example, I know somebody when they buy a new vehicle, them comes and take out money out of the bank, them take out a loan, buy a brand new vehicle. Say, yo, here what? You see what me gonna do? Me aim for that 1.9 there and we here, man. You see me, with that, I can pay back the loan and then start make money in my pocket for myself without ever. You see what I did? But we them go buy the brand new vehicle. You see me, I did get it up to date, get it licensed and so forth. And within a month, the vehicle crash and mash up.
No, she wasn't ready.
Crash and mash up, bro. So you know, say, yo, them still have to find the money and them did upon a payment plan with the bank, so them still have to pay that money. So it's like them a work as a slave now, I pay money for something with them now see eat and yam. You see what I did? So you know, say yo, you have that million at the mash up right there, so alright, catch a fire down there, so alright man, thief it down there, so these are all things that could happen in the business. You might see many of cases where people just lose them investment and it just gone down the drain. You see what I did? So that's why I opted to do this one, because if I lose this vehicle, it might hurt, but me never come out a ball over it like how me that do if me that lose like 2 million or 1.5 on a vehicle. You see what I did? So that is why I'm opted to do this way. I now tell you say you have to do this way. If you can afford it, you do it your way, however you feel it's best to do it, but this is what you have to keep in mind. Most cases, me I tell you, in most cases when it comes down to a boss and a driver situation, the dynamic and everything involved, in most cases not really work out, you not really get money. You see what I did? Because at the end of the day, you have to find good people who can operate the vehicle. But now I gotta try to say, yo, yeah, I make more than you see me I did, and I go watch and you see me? Because what most people actually do, man, you see most of the good drivers, what they did, you see me I did, they started out say, I will drive for somebody, man, and what me I gotta do, once me drive for them and me drive long enough that I can afford to get my own vehicle, that's what they do. So most drivers where you see out there that were good drivers are driving their own vehicle. You see what I did? So them start out driving for somebody. You see what I did? And after 2 years, so them just afford enough to can buy a new vehicle or buy a vehicle for themselves, where they now can operate and be free from the financial burden of find the 6,000 or how much the 8,000 per day. So these are all things that you need to consider if you're going in business. That's what I say. In a many of cases, I see it not really work out for the boss and the driver situation. It's really good if you're an operator and an owner. You see me, but most of them actually start from driving for someone else. You see what I did? So at the end of the day, I don't know what to tell you. You can go in it if you can find a good driver. I tell you, so the industry is a tricky thing. It's a very tricky thing. You see what I did? So I say it's something that you will win and you might lose. I'll show you one more example. This is me personally. I had a vehicle, man. I talk about the AD wagon for those who want to reference the AD wagon. Me have the AD wagon and I tell you, say, yo, the owner drive the vehicle and the person drive the vehicle till the engine mash up. When I say, yo, the engine had no coolant in there, something happened to the coolant, but what? It overheated and the person just drive it, see me and drive it, come straight to my yard and come left it outside. But you see me, him say, yo, the engine did not overheat and drive it, see me, when I look at it, engine destroyed. You see me the flat on my face at that time, so I come to and I say, John, I work somewhere, so I have to start to put in the work at the work and I had the vehicle park for a while. You see me, while the vehicle park, I get paid one time at the work that I was, and then I come to now, boom, and I take my whole entire paycheck to try to buy a new engine. I try to buy the new engine, and when I buy the new engine, I never have work for money to go back and work the next day. When I buy the new engine, and over the weekend, I put in the engine in the vehicle. Put in the engine and get the engine in the vehicle and give him back the vehicle the Monday. Me give him the vehicle Monday and go work. By the time I reach work, me get called that, yo, the vehicle crash and mash up.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
After I just put in a new engine in the vehicle, it crash and mash up. Believe me, I tell you, say, yo, I sit down at the workplace and I'm going on one part that I water road for me. Yeah, I tell you, say, yo, I tell you, say, I tired and sick of expense, I broke. I didn't even have money for that month alone, bro. You see what I did? I end up have to go a place, go for vehicle. You see what I did? I still end up with the car, find the money for body work and bring back that vehicle again. You see what I did? Whereas it then now had a transmission issue. I'll go more in detail about that, man. You see me? So these are some of the things where you cannot predict as a owner or a driver for the vehicle. You see what I mean? So the two of them have them pros and cons. If you're a driver, you know for business, but if the engine or if the vehicle okay or right, because you are the driver or the owner responsible for keep the vehicle up to date mechanically wise. You see what I mean? But what? Also, one more case is there. As I show you an example of not being able to find a good driver. So for the same AD wagon I'm referred to so much, that vehicle may come to now boom and put out an ad say, yo, me I look at driver for your Nissan AD wagon 2012, good condition, AC work, the world work, put it out. As you me get requesting and I come and try to fill tight through. I deal it like a proper business. My whole interview and say, yo, where you say, how can you start, where are your characteristics? You see me, I do the whole 9 yards. You see me? I'm come to know and I do interview, I find 2 people, I find a person. I come to know and give him the vehicle. I come to make him know the arrangement, much of the rate. I also even draft contract, make them sign that and give them vehicle gone on road. You see me? But my rates at that time, again, I think it was 5,000 per day, and the drop off is like one time for the week. So you normally work for the week and then just drop off the total week's month at the end of the Friday. You see me? So I come and give him the car from, I think it was like all the Saturday, you know. So he would have Saturday for himself as him get the car, and then the Sunday, and then now him work the whole Monday to Friday. And then on the Friday time when I was supposed to get the money, I called him and can't get him. Call and can't get him. And I said, wow, I wonder if my thief the vehicle, you know. Can't get him. I see I talked to him throughout the weekend, it was alright. But the Friday, can't get him. But I tried upon it. I try to keep my composure, and I just waited until the Saturday. The Saturday, I said I have a look for him, and I start look for him, and so forth, and look. I'm actually find the vehicle. When I find my vehicle, man, abandon the vehicle at a location. Just abandon it and left it there. You see me? And when we go, my vehicle in a poor condition, so it scrape up and dirty. You see me I did? I think he even damaged something on the engine, you know, man. You see me I did? And he just abandoned it there and left it there. You see me? So when me find it now, me comes and now, boom, out a week of money and have more expenses to do, and now I have to fix back all of these things. You see what I did? And believe me when I tell you that this did not happen 1 time or 2 times. So you do the math. You see what I did? Say drivers are very hard to find. If you don't know them, if you see me right now, I'm on work off a recommendation. Right? If somebody else with me know personal recommend that person to me not work with none of the just applying to actually be a driver, saying, yes, sir, I did. But these are some of the things you have to keep in mind. It's it's a gambling and that kind of business. Yeah. I mean, I want to give no hopes up and tell them they're not going to make all of this all the time. I saw it go. You see me? But I just want to get a clear understanding of how the business actually works. You see me? I did so you can make an educated decision on how you want to do this thing, if you want to do this thing at all. You see me? So one more to comment in the comment section any question you want to answer for. If anything, maybe just make a video answering all of the questions and when we get in the comment section. So leave a question, leave a like, you see me? Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and tell me when you want me to do next. And you want to see how much money doing InDrive and Uber make, how much money does it actually use buying a couple of vehicles and using it as a rental business, how much that makes. You see me? Comment when you want to do next. You see me? Also, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.